This is kind of why we're here, just to give you your dose of motivation to get from Monday to Saturday, and then Sunday you can just rest. So today we're really talking about overwhelm, and it's a topic that single one of us really face at some point, and that's just that feeling of overwhelm. Like there's so many things going on, from your family responsibilities, different things in your life keep piling up all at once. And when this overwhelm hits, it can really feel like there's just too much to do and not enough time, not enough energy, and no real motivation to do it. And that feeling overall can really just paralyze us. But here's the truth. I want to have you walk away today with the thought that you don't have to do everything. You just have to take the right step, or even better, just the next step. So today we're really going to dive into why overwhelm happens, the mindset shift that can really help us take back control, some simple actionable steps that you can use right now to move you forward when everything else feels too much, and then of course a challenge that will help you apply this to your daily life starting today. So if you are feeling like there's just too much on your plate, or you don't know where to start, all right, stick with me, because by the end of this talk today, you're going to have at least a plan to move forward. So let's really start about why we feel overwhelmed in the first place. Overwhelm happens when we're looking at everything that we have to do all at once. So we see the big picture, and we're feeling buried under the weight of all of these tasks or responsibilities. And instead of motivating us, it just paralyzes us. It freezes us. And here's why. Our brains aren't designed to handle everything at once. When we try to juggle too much mentally, our system goes into overload, much like a computer with too many programs running at once. And when we focus on the entire problem, it feels almost impossible to solve. So if your goal is to lose 50 pounds, and you wake up thinking about how far away you are and how much you have to go, it just feels overwhelming. But if your goal is to simply drink more water today, or to get in one workout, that suddenly feels doable. But lastly, overwhelm often leads to avoidance. We don't know where to start, so we don't start at all. We end up scrolling on our phones, pushing things off, and suddenly the day is gone. And now we feel guilt, we feel remorse, we feel trapped. That sound familiar? Because if it does, you're not alone. But this is where we can kind of flip the script. Instead of focusing on everything, we need to focus on just one thing, and that's where the power is. So how do we move out of overwhelm? The answer is simple. You don't have to do it at all. You just have to take the next right step. So let's use another analogy. Imagine you're climbing a mountain. And if you look all the way to the top of the peak, it just seems impossibly far. But if you just focus on the next step in front of you, it suddenly becomes manageable. I find this when I jog. And especially up our hill, we've got about a 7 or 8% incline, and going down the hill is easy peasy. It feels great. And as soon as you turn around and start going up, you feel it quickly. So I don't even look up. I look directly in front of me, and I only tell myself, just take the next step in front. And by not looking even up, I don't see the big picture. I just know I keep moving, and before I know it, I'm farther than I imagined. But this applies to everything in your life. Fitness, nutrition, work, relationships. You don't have to solve the whole problem today. You just have to set direction. And this is when I'm talking with people that are looking to join our Premier Personal Training Program. That's what I talk to them a lot about. You don't have to meet your goal today, but you do have to take a step in the right direction. You just have to do the next right thing. And I love this principle because it removes the pressure of trying to do everything perfectly. Instead, it gives you clarity. If you're feeling stuck, ask yourself, what is one small action I can take right now? It's similar to the touch the wall principle. So for example, if you're feeling overwhelmed by your workout plan, just to commit to just moving for 5 minutes. If your nutrition feels off track, drink a glass of water or add 1 serving of vegetables first to your next meal. Do something that just sets you in the right direction. If your to-do list is overwhelming, pick just 1 task and start with that, just 1. Because the next right step might be tiny, but that's okay. Progress is progress. And the goal is to shift from feeling stuck to just moving forward. So now that we know what to do, let's talk about how to make this a habit. Because the more often that you take the next right step, the easier it gets. And here are 3 ways to keep momentum going. Number 1, break it down. Overwhelm comes from looking at the whole picture. Instead, break those big goals into just bite-sized pieces that you can just take off. Number 2, if your goal is to get in shape, don't think about the entire 6-month program. Just focus on today's workout. So the second thing to keep momentum going is win the morning. This is what I just referenced John about. How was your workout? Win the morning. The way you start your day sets the tone. If you wake up feeling overwhelmed, ask, what's 1 small thing I can accomplish early that sets me up for success? If it's drinking water, do that. Put water right next to your counter when you wake up. If it's stretching, okay, well, let's roll out a yoga mat. Let's have that in front of you. Or just writing down your top priorities for the day. By having those set, you can start chunking those off 1 at a time. But by winning the morning, it creates the momentum that allows you to keep progressing throughout your day. The third one, celebrate small wins. Acknowledge every little step forward. Every time you choose action over inaction, you're training your brain to see progress. Don't wait for the big wins to feel good. Recognize and celebrate those small victories along the way. Set direction, start progressing, feel good about accomplishing 1 small task. So now it's time for your challenge. This week, I want you to focus on just 1 thing. When you're feeling overwhelmed, to ask yourself, what is the next right step? Then do that 1 thing. And here's your 3-step challenge. First, identify an area of your life where you feel overwhelmed right now, whether it's fitness, work, nutrition, or just daily responsibilities. Number 2, instead of trying to fix everything, pick 1 small step you can take today. Write it down. And then the 3rd, take action. Do that 1 step. Then repeat tomorrow. That challenge is simple, but it's powerful. Because once you start to shift your mindset from, I have too much to do, to I just need to take 1 step, everything changes. You regain control. You build momentum. And suddenly the things that felt impossible start to feel doable. So if you take away 1 thing from today's talk, let it be this. You don't have to see the whole staircase. You just have to take the next step. Overwhelm is normal, but staying stuck isn't necessary. You have the power to move forward 1 action at a time. So I'd love to hear how this challenge goes for you. So I want you to share your small wins in the comments when I post this on school, or just message me directly in school and let me know how this challenge this week goes for you. And if this helps you, well, take this and forward it to a friend. Give somebody else a little bit of encouragement. You'll see this posted in YouTube. You can go ahead and even subscribe to that YouTube channel that has all these in there, and then send it to a friend. You can hit the share button. You can text or email it to them. But until we visit next time, stay consistent, stay positive, and remember, progress is always better than perfection. All right, guys, you got this. I'll see you then in the gym. I'll see you on 4%. I'll see you in the clinic. I'll see you somewhere. Keep making progress. Talk to you later.